see, baby, I never say, for I will fall into the light.
What were your first moments underwater like? What was your first breath?
Moments, yeah. So, really scary for about the first 20 seconds. I think from first diving in, you've got the rush of, jumping off the boat. You've got all this gear and equipment on you. You're breathing through this new regulator type thing where it's forcing air into your lungs. You've got something on your face that's limiting your view, and then suddenly you're in water. A concept that, you don't breathe underwater. That's new. The body is just rejecting all thoughts of reality. And you start sinking down, and the world is just different. Nothing about it feels natural in that moment. So I just remember sinking right down to the bottom, and I remember you took me down to the sand and we just sort of sat down. And I reckon for a good 10, 20 seconds, I just had to stop, realize where I was, just take a few breaths, let my body react to looking up. I'm underwater. What the heck? But after that, everything just clicked, and it was like, wow, no, this isn't scary. No, this isn't weird. This just feels amazing. Another realm, another way to be alive.
You're an open water diver. You've just done your open water course. How do you feel now?
Amazing. I think it was our last dive out on the reef that really brought out the passion. I think I was at the point where I felt comfortable under the water. I trusted my gear. I trusted the people I was with. I knew the reef a little bit more. So it wasn't too much of an overload. The first few dives, you're processing a lot. You want to swim right. You don't want to hit coral. You want to make sure you're breathing right, that you're not sinking, or there's just lots of stuff that you process at the start. But getting to that point where I felt free underwater, then it became something really relaxing and enjoyable.
So I won't hold back, and you should know that was never gone, just like regrets. So I won't go back, oh, would it guide me to forget the time I lost with no regrets, and let me forget.
With your buoyancy, I noticed that it was a challenge for you to overcome.
Yeah.
At first, you didn't have as much confidence in yourself, but as you became more familiar with buoyancy and skills, and you were able to practice some more, you were able to sort of overcome that challenge. Tell me a bit about that journey.
Yeah, at the start, it was probably the most new concept to get my brain around, is not using your hands to go up and down, not having to kick with your feet to balance, fine-tuning how high you are. And it was really understanding that your breath controlled everything. So first trimming your gear right, having the right amount of weight, putting the weights on the right spots. I think there was a few dives where I had my weight slightly off center, and every time I stopped waving my arm, my whole body would just slowly twist over, and I kept going upside down. So you're seeing some of the videos, I'm waving my arm the entire time. So there was lots of little rookie mistakes like that I worked through, but you get your weights right, you inflate your BCD enough how deep you are, and then just calm, just little breaths. If you want to go up, take in a deeper breath and let it out slowly. You want to go down a bit, let the air out a bit longer. And that's really cool. That lets you get up a lot closer to the coral. That lets you see a lot more. That gives you more confidence in when you're hovering above that little school of fish, you can like be a centimeter off, and just as the current pulls you around, you can just sit there and really get a glimpse into the lives of these little fish, and helps you become a part and really be immersed in the environment.
So, talking about your animal interactions, what was your favorite interaction between, the animals that you got to see underwater?
So there's been a lot of really cool interactions, but yes, that Sweet Lips encounter on one of our last dives was just something really special. There's this beautiful big girl. She broke away from her school and came up to me and just started playing. She was doing little rolls and flips and coming up to my face, looking at me, and then going off. I think for a good couple of minutes, I just sat there completely lost where everyone else was, as I was so immersed in this interaction. But just to share a moment with this creature in its world and have it not be afraid to play, to be just as curious about me as I was of it and its environment was really special. And I find it hard now to eat fish. I just think of this beautiful encounter with this little Sweet Lips.
Yes.
And that will always have a special moment in my heart. That was cool.
Let me ask you, how was it learning how to dive in the Coral Sea of all places?
I feel a bit privileged with that. For the first thing for me to see underwater to be 40 meter viz, coral that's just immaculate, pristine, fish as dense as, I don't know, just the biggest school of birds you've ever seen. It's just, it's hard to put it into words just how magical that place was.
Yeah.
Coral for days, sharks everywhere, fish just all over the place, everything being calm and friendly and coming up to you and just being immersed in a pristine new world.
I remember you telling me before that something that really amazed you was you had such a diversity of life in one little place. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, no, I think that was the most special thing, the sheer amount of life, unafraid of you, just going about their day. You can get right up close, be a part of that, see so much variety in life, just swimming around, interacting, the different corals, the different ways other fish swim around, like these tiny little bluefish that I love that just sit above these big white, plate coral?
Yeah, table coral.
Table coral. And there's just hundreds of them that sit above it. When you get a little bit too close, they'll quickly dive inside of it and then they slowly come back out. And then there's the parrotfish that are just cruising along the coral, chewing stuff up. And you've got the clownfish that are just like aggressively hiding in their little anemones. When you get close, they get all sassy in your face. You've got these beautiful big bluefish, I don't know what they're called, but just cruising around. And then if you're lucky, you see all the schoolfish that just hug the reef. And there was one time where I was swimming through this massive school of trevally, and they're just so chill. It's not like you get up close and they all just disperse, but they're just slowly swimming around you, and you have that opportunity to come up close and just be a part of that school, and just their little faces coming up close like, what the heck is going on? What is this giant thing within us?
So now, final question. What would you say to anybody who's considering doing scuba diving?
Jump in.
Jump in and do it.
Yeah, it's life-changing. It really is. It lets you see life like you've never seen it before. You're in another world. It'll change how you perceive the world around you. It'll give you a whole nother perspective on how you see life. It'll introduce you to an environment that you can be free to swim, to fly, to up, down, hover, stop, interact with things that just allow you to be a part of their world. Yeah, if you get the opportunity to try scuba, go for it.
I try to breathe, the moon will rise and carry me, but I've loved and I have died. So I won't hold back, and you should know that was never gone, just have regrets. shine back again. When I drove down to abyss, while I blame the world's neglect, then I shine right back again.